AI may not take your job, but someone that knows how to use it could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a tool.
This is a production of OSUN Media.
Welcome to Unclogged Conversations, powered by Stinson Plumbing. Today, we got you a special guest. We got the rep from Local 146. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So I'm James Kline. I'm the Director of Education for the Fort Worth Pipe Trades, UA Local 146. So I run the school, oversee all their apprentices and stuff like that, yeah.
Cool. So what's the, is that growing or?
Yeah, it's growing pretty rapidly. I think everyone knows it's in this industry. The past 4 years was really, really booming, and it's continuing to do so. So, yeah, we're definitely on the uptick. Before I took over, I think the most we ever had in our school was around 100, and we're at about just over 260 now.
Okay.
First through fifth year apprentices.
So what all do y'all offer?
Yeah, so we're a multi-trade apprenticeship program. It includes plumbing, pipe fitting, welding, and HVAC.
Which one's the biggest?
So plumbing has been predominantly the biggest for many, many years. There's a little bit of a swing because the construction side was the biggest portion of us,
Yeah.
but a lot of our contractors are adopting the service route, whether it be HVAC or plumbing. And so the service side of things is really just going crazy right now.
What's the average age of your?
So right now we're around a 30-year average rate, and we get those statistics from the DOL because all of them are registered through that. So they have an average around 30 or so, but we're definitely seeing a huge uptick in kids right out of high school. I think high schools are doing a better job of saying, hey, college isn't for everyone, right?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of career center or high schools are doing the CTE stuff to prep them for other avenues, including what we do. You know?
Yeah, I'm so glad that's coming back.
Yeah.
Because, when I was in school, we had shop. And
Exactly.
They took shop out, and then they wondered why there wasn't no construction people left.
And shop was where the bad kids went.
Yeah. So, but at least gave you somewhere to go and learn something instead of now we just ship the bad kids to an alternative type school and instead of giving them a chance to do something and change their lives. And so.
Yeah, and it's organized really well. And a lot of people used to have the mentality of, hey, these young kids aren't ready for it. But now with how high schools are doing it, they're more ready than what I even was. Because I didn't even know what I wanted to do. I kind of stumbled into this, and I knew I wanted to work. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I stumbled into it and made it work. But now these kids are knowing, hey, I'm going to do this, and they have the expectations of, hey, it's going to be hard work. It's not going to be easy. And I think they're transitioning a lot better than what most people think.
So is that one of your roles with the union is to go into these high schools and promote?
Yeah, I wear many, many hats. So organizing and recruiting is a big part of that. I go to a lot of local high schools. Keller's a big partner of mine.
Yeah.
They do a fantastic job over there. They got a program that if the student goes all 4 years, they can actually graduate with their tradesman.
Wow.
That's all approved through TSBPE and everything. Yep. So
my concern with that, and I'm proud that that's there, is the
hands-on.
Hands-on.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I think they're just trying to push it to make more people get into it, and it feels like they have a certification besides just an apprentice card.
Yeah.
But I think us as contractors or business owners, you can kind of identify that, but at least we know they're investing in themselves and they're taking that steps that they have some kind of accreditation towards something. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a good starting point.
Where do you see we need to improve on the youth? I mean, I feel like we're getting a big attraction to the youth.
Sure.
But I feel like it's kind of one thing I've noticed in our industry is that we're getting a lot of them come and try it for like 6 months to a year and then like, no, this ain't really what I want.
Yeah, I think that's the other challenge. I think technology has been a good thing, and it's kind of hindered long-term goals and success because everyone's about instant gratification.
Yeah.
And when you're in this industry, it takes time, regardless of what certifications you get. Even after 5 years, because our program's 5 years, right? And we give them a lot of information while they work on the job. schooling, even after 5 years, you're not perfect.
Yeah,
you don't know everything. Even 20-year veterans, I'm sure even you.
Oh yeah, I still learn stuff.
We learn stuff. Our industry is evolving all the time. But I think the biggest thing that they can improve on, and I think is kind of a consensus, is the soft skills part of it. Having a face-to-face conversation, an eye-to-eye conversation. Integrity is a huge part of it,
Yep.
and the meaning of the word earn.
Yeah.
You got to earn it.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the biggest things that younger kids, mainly because, they live at home. They don't have any real responsibilities yet. And then when they're thrust into a role like what we do, we have high expectations that, hey, we're paying you a good wage. That means you got to show up early, which makes you on time, and then work while you're getting paid and not on your phones and being distracted.
What what improvements does the industry need to make to help attract these students?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think when we grew up, it was, hey, you're going to do what you're told regardless, right?
Yeah.
And it's not that way anymore. Kids are more prone to ask questions and why and how come and what for. I think we need to have a little more sympathy and patience to allow them to ask those questions and have that freedom to ask the questions, because they are asking questions to better themselves. And I think some of the what we call old timers have just got to grow more patience and give them the information they want, because that's what they're used to getting. If they want information, they know how to get it.
Yeah.
So
we have one of our oldest plumber here. He's 63 now, I think.
Sure.
The biggest complaint I get is that he doesn't let them do hands-on stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, Bubba, you gotta let them teach them, help. And he's like, yeah, I know, but I just want to get done. I said, I understand, but that's what they're here for. You got to teach them, and they're not just a tool getter or pick up the heavy thing or a hole digger. We got to teach them so that we have a future here. And he's gotten better.
Sure.
He's improving.
Yeah.
But it took several conversations with him to get him there.
Yeah. I think as we get older, we forget that someone had some patience with us and said, okay, it's your time, go ahead and do it. And sometimes we lose sight of that.
So which trade is the biggest one, that you see the kids are attracted to?
Yeah, so right out of high school, 9 times out of 10, welding. That's the cool thing. I think social media has really hyped up the welding, and there's a lot of welding programs out there. However, welding's not for everyone. No. It's not something that's mastered overnight, and I think that's kind of what it's being portrayed as, is, you can pick up welding and make $100,000 within a year, and that's not quite true. You may have some savants, even in the plumbing or HVAC industry. You got guys that just excel so quick, but it's not the norm.
No.
But so a lot of people start off with the welding or think they want to be welders. And I feel like that's kind of the great thing about our program. The first 3 years on the curriculum side, they get basic knowledge of all 4 of the trades, because pipe trades intermingle.
Oh, yeah.
And so they get the knowledge of all 4 of the trades in the school, and then while working, they get to find out what they actually excel at versus what they think they're going to be good at. So
I got an 18-year-old son. Let's say I send him to you and tell him you're going to get your training here. What's his starting point?
Yep. So it is a bit of a process. So the first step is filling out an application. And when he does that, it does 2 things. It's going to put him on our out of work list. So we're going to actively try to find him work. And it's going to put him on the list to continue his application process. We accept once a year. So our full application process starts around the end of January, which at that point, we'll send an email out to all the applicants saying, hey, we have set days to come in and do testing. So we have 2 sets of tests that they have to do before they do anything. Yeah. The first one's called a journey assessment, which is basically like a personality test.
Yeah.
We want to know if this is what you really want to do. It's only 30 questions. Both these tests are only 30 questions. So once they pass that, then they do the math assessment, which is basic math. I call it 8th grade level math. It's word problems of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and then reading a tape measure.
Okay.
And if they can do that, we can teach them the rest.
How many of them can read the tape measure?
So last year we had almost 1,300 applicants. Of those 1,300 applicants, we probably had 500 that went through the full process of testing, and we did out close to half of them.
Wow.
Just on the simple math stuff. So Like I said, I think construction still has the narrative that, hey, if you're not college material, then this is where you go.
Yeah.
It's a skill trade.
Yeah.
And you have to have somewhat of a brain to be able to do this. It's the reason why we're able to charge what we charge.
So is union mostly, or 146, is it mostly commercial, or do you have residential?
Yeah, I would definitely say it's 98% commercial and industrial work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do know some of the service contractors dabble in the residential side, but it's not their primary business at all.
It hadn't taken off in Texas.
It hasn't, and I think the wages our wages aren't really competitive with the residential side.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest challenge.
Yeah, most companies, not us, but most companies do commission now.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's got some high rate commission.
Correct.
Reason we don't do it is because it leads to being salesmen.
Exactly, and that's the opposite of what you want,
Yeah,
right?
you
lose the integrity.
Yeah, in my opinion, you do, and that's why we hadn't gone commission. I mean,
Yep.
The industry's changing that way. There's less and less companies with it now. I'm one of them. You know, I used to be in the majority, and now I'm in the minority.
Sure.
And it makes it a little harder to find some of the good techs.
Yeah.
And because someone want to go make. I mean, you're good tech can make 150, 200,000 a year.
Easy. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think a lot of the programs push being salespeople versus a technician. It's kind of the problem I have with some of these trade schools.
So, you got anything for us, Connor? Any other questions you want? I kind of.
Yeah, so James, the trades are changing fast from green energy to new installation methods. How's your training center adapting to keep up with all this new technology?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, we try to stay up with all the new technology as much as possible. Every year we have grantable items that we can purchase through the UA to stay up to those standards, whether it be new HVAC equipment, the new draining, cleaning equipment with the cameras and all battery operated. I guess we don't use cords anymore. So, but yeah, we have new curriculum, energy auditing classes, which is a big deal these days. So, we do our best to stay with the curve. I think it's impossible to stay ahead of it. A lot of people are trying to stay ahead of the curve. It's impossible, but you kind of fall in line with it.
So do y'all have? Trying to think of the word to use. Do y'all have industry partners like Ream and stuff like that y'all work with, or?
Absolutely, yeah. So we have vendors that partner up with us, like Milwaukee, DeWalt, Kline Tools, Victaulic, New Age Casting. There's a lot of different vendors that partner up with us. As far as brands, we try to stay away from brand specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have brands in our building, but we stay away from brand specific training.
Yeah.
For the most part, and it kind of. I don't want to get into the people that just want to sell me stuff. I want to provide a value to my students that they're going to be able to work on not just one thing. So
yeah, there's so much out there.
There is.
Especially when you get into all trades, but in the plumbing trade, there's so many different brands of pipe and fittings and water heaters
and you have customers that have differences of opinions of what they want, and our job is to provide for an end user, right?
Yeah.
So we got to make sure we're up to standards to make them happy.
You got another question?
Yeah, I do. How are you seeing diversity grow in the trades? Are you seeing more women come into the trades? And I mean, you talked about the youth, but is there more like women coming into the trades?
Absolutely, yeah. So just this year alone, we accepted more women than we ever had. We accepted 7 women into our industry. I think unions in the past, we got ourselves into trouble. It's not a secret. We got ourselves into trouble because it was kind of like a country club.
Yeah.
If you didn't know somebody or family, you didn't get in. Mm-hmm. And it was a lot of bad practices that they did, and we're having to dig ourselves out of a hole. And our selection process is actually approved through the DOL. So it's a completely non-biased. We have to do interview training with all the people that interview. The testing's all done by third party. It's all done online. So we don't even get their scores. We get a green, yellow, or red on the testing. And if they get a red, then they don't move on, and they have to wait 6 months before they retest. So it's really opened the door to a lot of diversity. If you weren't a white male in the past, you weren't getting in.
No.
And now our school is very, very diverse, and we're extremely proud of it.
So when did the 146 start?
So our apprenticeship program started in 1942. We actually became an organization in 1895.
Okay.
The UA as a whole became an organization in 1889.
Okay.
So it's been around for over 130 years. We passed our 125 years, so we've been around a really long time and slowly growing. And we're not the biggest local by any means.
No.
Our neighboring local 100 is much bigger than we are. We have about 750 members, a little over 260 apprentices, and I think they're probably double or triple that.
Wow.
So their market is much bigger right now as it stands, but I feel like they're kind of getting landlocked, and there's a lot of work coming west.
Yeah, no, we're getting.
Mm-hmm.
I live out that way.
Yep.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
You got another question for us?
Yeah, James, can you kind of go through like membership dues, like pay scale throughout their entire time in the union, and then like after their 5-year, apprenticeship, or how what's that whole timeline look, and pay scale and all that kind of stuff for anybody?
Yeah. So when apprentices come to us, they're classified as what we call a provisional or pre-apprentice. If we're able to find them work before they're accepted into the school, they start off at $20.64 an hour. Once they go through the full application process and get accepted, in September they get a pay bump up to $22.70.
Okay.
Their first 2 years, they get a raise every 6 months, and it's good raises. So 6 months later, they're at like 24. I don't have it in front of me, but it's a little over 24 an hour, so it's like a $2 an hour raise. 6 months later, they're going into their second year, they're at 26. 6 months later, they're at 28. And then they go into their third, fourth, and fifth year, they get one raise a year. Third years make $33.02. Fourth years make $35 or $33.09 or something like that. And then fifth years make $35. And then when they graduate and get certified in whichever craft they want to do, whether it's plumbing, pipe fitting, welding, or HVAC, they make $41.28, plus the contractors pay for all their benefits, whether it's health care, an HRA, pension, and a 401k. That's all paid for out of the from the contractors. Union dues, apprentices pay $40 a month, and once they graduate, journey workers pay $55 a month.
Yeah.
So that's one of the big things that people talk about with unions is like, I don't want to pay someone to go to work, and I don't look at it that way. The way I look at it, because I've worked on both sides, whether it be non-union or union, and when I was non-union, I was making a good wage, but I was paying about $1,500 a month for insurance and a retirement, and with us, it's all paid for by the contractors. So to me, it's great benefits that are provided by them, and I quantified those $55 a month towards those benefits. And if you can find insurance for $55 a month, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, it's definitely. We pay for our plumber's insurance, and
sure, it's not cheap.
No.
And I don't think anything's getting cheaper. So,
James, what's a success story from your training program that really stands out to you?
Oh wow, that's a really good one. There's one individual that sticks out. So prior to being in this role, I taught at the school for 10 years, so I had more of an intimate relationship with the guys. But there's one individual, hopefully he doesn't mind I mention his name, but Mike.
Say his first name.
Yeah, his name is Mike, and super smart kid. I call him a kid. He's a man by all means, but he struggled with drugs and. Super smart kid. He used to frustrate me because I taught a lot of math.
Okay.
And he would be asleep, and I would do a whole lesson, and then I would do a test. And I'm like, all right, time to wake up, do this test. And boy, he'd piss me off. He'd pass it every time. But he struggled with drugs, and I had a lot of conversations with him to help motivate him to get on track. And there's times I felt like I succeeded, and then other times, he'd fall back. But he wound up graduating 2 years after he should have. So he graduated after 7 years, and he's been probably one of the best journey workers that I've known. And it made me really proud when I did get this position. He was one of the first ones that came to me and shook my hand, and he actually was wanting to apply. And when he found out I applied, he was like, that's the right guy for the job.
That's cool.
And he came and told me how meaningful it was to that I was taking the role and what I did to help him. So I think that's what motivated me to teach so long.
Yeah.
When I first took it or got asked to teach, it was like, hey, I'm going to get a little extra money. And but after a few years, you got to see that what you did actually helped them. It was so gratifying. It was almost like my drug.
Yeah.
And having people that helped me, because I came from very humble background, and I didn't have a whole lot of direction that I knew where to go. And I relied on people that I worked with to help me go down a good path. And being able to do that for other people, just, it means the world to me.
So what time is like y'all's trainings? Like I know it's at night.
Yeah.
How many days? Like what time? What days?
So students go 2 nights a week. We have to divide it up. Our building's not large enough for first through fourth to go all the same night. So first and second years go Tuesday and Thursday nights, 5:30 to 9. And then third, fourth, and fifth years go Monday and Wednesday night, 5:30 to 9. So
that's cool.
It's only 2 nights a week. It's a 7-hour-a-week commitment. They go to school just like high school, September through May, and then they're out for 3 months and don't have to come to school. They still work, earn their living, and then rinse and repeat.
And y'all help them get jobs too.
Yeah. So we put them to work with any one of our signatory contractors. We have a slew of contractors that are associated with us, so ranging from big to very small.
Yeah. That's cool. Got another question for us, Connor?
Yeah, what's one misconception about the union or anything in general as far as y'all's program that you'd like to clear up?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is a lot of people want to put us under an umbrella that union people are lazy. And I know where a lot of that comes from, because you see a lot of companies that strike, and you hear about people helping the people that are wanting to be lazy.
Yeah.
But labor unions are way different. And when I say labor unions, I'm talking about the UA, whether it be pipe trades, electricians, carpentry, sheet metal.
Yeah.
Everyone that goes through an apprenticeship program, and we can't be lazy because predominantly, we make more than what non-union makes, so we have to be more efficient more often than not. And I feel like the training helps with that. Versus, when someone is working with someone that they're having to rely and hope that the individual they're working with is giving them good information. So with our guys, they get on the job with an individual, and they get the school backing as well. But I think that's the biggest misconception, is that union guys are lazy, and it couldn't be further from the truth. We actually have to work a lot harder, just because what we charge is typically more. Not always, but typically.
That's all I got.
That's all you got?
Yeah. Do you have anything else?
Well, I'll add to what he just said about being. I think one of the misconceptions, and we talked about it a little bit ago, was that the youth is lazy now.
Right. Yeah, and I don't feel like that's 100% true. I don't think it's 100% wrong either. But I do feel like kids are getting more prepared for an industry versus going to college. So,
and marketing. You asked me why before we went on air why I did the podcast, and it's about marketing. I mean, it's where the marketing's at.
Sure.
I grew up watching TV, and these kids watch YouTube and TikTok and
absolutely
all that. And guess what they're going to be? They're going to be homeowners.
Yeah, absolutely.
They may not be today, but they will be.
Absolutely, they will. Yeah, for sure.
So if you're in this for the long run, you better be preparing for what's coming up.
Yeah, I have to tell my instructors that all the time, that at one point that Gen X was a bunch of misfits, and millennials, all they did was eat Tide Pods. But each generation through time has gotten better. I feel like the world has gotten better. We've progressed and gone in a positive direction, and they're going to do the same. Yep. So they may be lazy. I could say I was lazy at some point. You know, so
I didn't want to work. I did everything I could. The only reason I worked was make money so I could go play.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so
yeah,
and the difference is now kids can play sitting on their phone.
Yeah, yeah.
Where it costs money to play when I grew up.
Exactly. You had to go find stuff to play with and knock on someone's door. Yeah. And hope they're available.
Drive somewhere or do something. I couldn't have the world at my hand like my son does. I'm like, dude, you can do anything you want. I had to drive cross country to see the stuff you can see now.
Sure.
And so I think that's a big difference.
And it kind of go back to one of your questions of about unions. That's not true. Is it like a lot of people think that union think down on non-union, and it couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, non-union is the one that has the majority of the market share, not us. Mm-hmm. So
especially in Texas.
Especially in Texas, So for me, there's options for everyone, right? And there's paths for everyone, and we're just one of those.
Well, that's why I wanted to invite you on here, and to show that there is other options than just. I mean, I think it's cool what y'all do. I think y'all do a lot better training than. I mean, we have training here, but it's mostly hands-on in the field training.
Sure.
And we'll bring, like, I brought Renee and I brought Brad Fright and Reem and all them in, and Viga, and we do training. We got a meeting room here in the shop, and we'll do occasional training out in the shop, soldering, especially when somebody's going to take their test and stuff like that. We'll go over training. We've set up the 45-degree angle and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not every week thing.
Right.
When in this side of the industry, it's you learn out in the field.
Sure.
And then now I put all the and that's why 99% of the companies out there do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now I put put the hands of those kids, those apprentices, in my employees' hands. They have got to be the one to teach them.
Yep.
Which at this point, most of my plumbers that we have were trained under me, or the oldest plumber we've had here, the one that's been here the longest, were trained under either me or him.
Yep.
But that's changing.
Yeah.
Because me and him are not in the field no more. And so that's a little concern. And that's one thing I do like about the union. I think y'all do a good job of training.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's just like y'all. I mean, I think 90% of the quality training is hands-on, trial and error. Yeah. But that's why we do a lot of hands-on training at the school. Our shop is much bigger than our classroom setting, so we want them to make mistakes in the shop so they minimize it when they're getting paid.
Yeah.
So.
And what's changing in our industry, and the HVAC industry even included, is there's every unit in like tankless water heaters and the HVAC units, they're mostly computers now.
They are. Technology is in everything, and now we're seeing a huge thing. Hell, there's a big data center that we're building in Abilene. Yeah. That's all geared towards AI. Yeah. And everyone's terrified of AI.
I love it.
Yeah, I do too, man. To me, it's a new tool that anytime you have something new, it's scary.
I think the biggest thing it's going to be, and the only thing that I'm concerned about, and what I've been playing with and learning, because we try to stay on top of cutting edge stuff. Yep. It's going to cut a lot of jobs.
Sure. It's going to create jobs as well.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things that you can do. I was showing my wife and Connor today, I can build a what do they call that?
Workflow.
Workflow. I can build a workflow off of one question.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, complete flow chart off one.
To be quite honest, you could build a little curriculum for your guys in an instant.
Oh yeah.
And to me, it was explained to me that AI may not take your job, but someone that knows how to use it could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a tool, and humans, we make mistakes, right?
Oh, yeah.
Probably some more than others, but and AI can be used to help you minimize your mistakes.
Oh, definitely.
You definitely have to check it. I'll tell you that, because it's only as smart as what you're telling it what to do.
It's only as smart as the question you ask it.
Yep.
Or the answer you give it.
Exactly.
So, but it's definitely. I mean, AI automation is making the office side so much easier.
Yeah, I bet.
Like we use Service Titan. and it's getting more AI automation in it. So if you answer a question a certain way, it directs it to a different direction. When you're like filling out something inside a Service Titan, it's crazy. Instead of you having to know everything, it automatically does it for you.
Yeah.
And so
it can correct you on the fly.
Yeah. And so it's coming. It's here.
Yeah.
It ain't changing. It's getting better and better. And
yeah.
The one they just dropped out this week is some of the stuff in it's crazy.
Yeah, it's only getting more and more advanced, and that data center that we're building in Abilene shows it's not going anywhere.
So I talked to somebody about that. How many jobs they said it's going to bring?
I don't know exactly. So I know they have about 3,000 people on that job.
And I know, but I heard it's going to bring like this big influx to Abilene.
Yeah.
Of employees.
I don't know what those projections are. I just know what we have on the sites. But yeah, and there's another one going up in Abilene. So there's going to be 2 data centers in Abilene. So yeah, Abilene's going to grow rapidly. If you're in real estate, that's a place to go right now.
I heard they're building RV parks everywhere out there.
Exactly, because there's no houses there.
Yeah.
And the ones that are for rent, they're jacking the price way up.
And there's rumor there's one supposed to be headed towards Wichita Fall area.
Correct.
And my buddy's lives in Henrietta.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm thinking about buying some rental houses up.
And there's going to be another one in Roanoke.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's going to be crazy.
Yep.
It's one thing when it's way far away, but when it's right here in the Metroplex.
Right there in the Metroplex. I mean, you got that, that Facebook data center?
Yeah.
That's right there.
Yeah.
So it's a good spot. So.
All right. Well, I do appreciate you stopping by and joining us today. You got any questions for me?
No, I think it was great. And I appreciate you inviting me. And, this is a great little platform you have.
Thank you.
I'd be more than happy to come back.
All right. Well, we'll have you back.
All right.
You got anything, Mr. Connor, you want to add to the end of this?
No, that's it. Thanks, James.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Like, subscribe, and ring the bell, and share, and go find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I got them all?
I think you got them all.
All right. Y'all have a
YouTube
great
Shorts.
day. Oh, yeah, YouTube Shorts. Y'all have a great day. Thank you.